watch. Today we have an Orient watch in front of us, which we will be unboxing very soon. But before that, very quick wristwatch check. Today I am wearing the Frederic Constant manufactured caliber FAC00009N0 with the in-house movement, Roman numerals, brigade hands, and I absolutely love this watch. It's a perfect dress watch for formal, semi-formal occasions, and I was just wearing this today, and it goes with our theme of unboxing a dress watch, as we shall see. Alright, coming back to the watch, and you can see that this is just a regular white cardboard box with the Orient logo in front of it. Orient is a Japanese manufacturer of entry-level dress watches, sports watches, you name it. They have all different categories. They are owned by the Seiko Epson Corporation, so a lot of their products do have a little bit of Seiko theme to it, although they are priced relatively less expensive compared to Seiko. This is the modern day Seiko, since Seiko is now up marketing their brand. They are moving into the higher price range. Orient remains one of the more higher value brands that you can get from Seiko themselves. So yeah, so they're all manufactured in Japan. All their movements, everything is still sourced in Japan. They have not outsourced anything, and you get a lot of value for your money, as we shall see in this video. So anyway, so you can see that the Orient logo is right at the center of the box with silver metallic font, and the logo and emblem is right above the font. You can see there's two lions holding onto a crown with an O written at the center, which signifies Orient itself. Nothing else much on the box except for the serial number on the top. Right, so we'll open the box up. And we have another box inside. Looks like we have a couple of booklets as well. Let's take a look at that. So this first one is their user instruction manual. It just shows you about the winding mechanism, how to operate the watch, all different sorts of their watches actually, because it has some information for chronograph, which is not relevant to us, and it's written in different languages. So nice small booklet with the gray cover, a little bit shiny. So let's put that to the side. The next booklet that we have in front of us is their international guarantee booklet, so you can kind of look for their service centers, and also has their locations, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, websites, and at the back you have the repair record if you ever need to use that. You can fill out the warranty information as well. I think it's on the second to last page. Yeah, I haven't filled it out yet. So there's a certificate of guarantee, and as you can see, I purchased this from Amazon actually. So we'll be coming back to the price in a second, but let's first look at the box. We see that it has a silver metal sheet on the top with horizontal brushings and the Orient logo at the center with black font and the black emblem right on top of the Orient logo. Looking at the box in detail, we see that it has a silver metallic sheet with horizontal brushing, the Orient logo at the center with black font with the black emblem right above it. And then you see these 4 exposed screws, which are totally faux screws, and then you have this faux stitching, kind of giving it a faux leather type of feel, even though there's no real feeling of leather on this box. I think it's just typical cardboard, and the stitching is just meant to give an illusion of leather, but there's really no leather on here, and it's not very well finished. The screws look really mangled, as you can see, and the stitching is also coming off on some areas, so it's not the best finished watch box in the world. In fact, I'd say it's actually a poorly finished watch box, but for the price that they're giving you, I don't really care too much about the box, but I have to give you the honest opinion and how I received the package, how I received the box. I'm just going to describe it as it is. So nothing much else to talk about that. Let's go ahead and open it up, see what's inside. So here we go. And some of you guys may already know about this watch. We'll come to it in a second. Just put it to the side here. Now the inside of the box, again, nothing impressive, just some velvet lining at the bottom. We have the Orient logo in silver with the emblem, and it's just some fabric, some not very expensive fabric that lines the top part of the box. Typical ribbon-like closure. So let's keep this to the side and put our attention to the box. Put our attention to the watch actually. It's on this pillow, your typical watch pillow. And here's the watch, guys. So this is it. This is the Orient Bambino. Some of you guys may have already recognized it. And this is the reference number FAC00009N0. And as you can see, it has the cream dial with the blue, or some people might say violet, the blue and the cream dial version of their dress watch, the Bambino, the classic. This is the second generation, not the first generation. This is the second generation with their same in-house movement. It has been upgraded. It has the FAC00009N0 movement, although some people say it's the FAC00009N0 movement. On their website, there's some conflicting information, and you go on the dial, it tells you that it's the FAC00009N0, but on the description it says the FAC00009N2, not the 24. So I'm not sure, but I guess it's either one of those movements, and it has been upgraded. So we'll talk about that in a second, but let's just look at the dial really closely. As you can see, it's a very antique inspired watch, very vintage looking, very vintage feeling. Almost looks like it's something that came out of a cartograph from the olden days. And very, very classic in design. You have the Roman numerals, you have the chaptering with the train track marks, you have very precise minute markers from 60 to all the way across the dial. And then you have this very, very prominent domed mineral crystal, which has been hardened for extra protection. There's a lot of distortion of the light, as you can see. Some people enjoy that. Gives the dial a very 3D and dynamic look. Looks like that the dial is popping out and bulging towards you, which is a very nice effect. I actually enjoy looking at it like that. You have the date window at the 3 o'clock position, nicely bordered and centered with the white background and black font, although I would have wished that it should have been actually cream in background, but hey, for this price point, again, I will not complain. Looking closely at the dial, you see that the Roman numerals are actually applied in silver in color and with the mirror finish, so that's also very nice. The Orient logo with its classic emblem is sitting at the 12 o'clock position. It says automatic. As you can see, it is an automatic watch. Just by shaking it around a little bit, it started moving. It has the caliber that I just mentioned, the FAC00009N22 or 24, whichever one it is in this one, and it is a low beat movement. It's 21,600 VPH, so the movement of the seconds hand, as you can see, is not the smoothest. It is water resistant to only 30 meters. There is no screw down crown. It's a push and pull crown, and it does have hacking. So as you can see, the second hand stop, and it does have hand winding too, as you can probably hear, hacking and hand winding. And I mean, that's really fantastic. So you have a stainless steel case, 316L. It has a combination of both mirror and brush finish. So on the sides you have the brushing, which is horizontal, and then on the top and the bottom you have polished finish. And same on the lugs, you have brushing on the sides, and then you have a polished finish on the top and bottom. So whenever you mix two types of finishes, that makes for nicer looking watches, nicer quality. Look, it requires a lot more work, and I commend them for doing that job. I really like the handsets, the minute and the hour. They're very sleek, and I love the blue when it plays with the light. It is absolutely gorgeous in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree. It does give a vintage vibe, so it may not be for everybody, but I, being a lover of dress watches in the classic style, I absolutely dig it, for sure, 100%. Just want to add the water resistant and the automatic is actually an italicized font, which is different from the Orient font for their emblem and logo. And what else do we have here? On the case back, the crown is not signed, by the way, just so you know. On the case back, you just have it's no see-through case back, just a mirrored finish with the Orient logo, with some pinstriping that's horizontal. It says movement made in Japan, stainless steel. The reference number that I just mentioned, Seiko Epson Corporation has created this watch. As you can see, it just says Epson, not Seiko over here. It's water resistant, obviously, like I just mentioned. Now let's talk about the strap. So the strap is leather, very dark brown, very shiny. Not the most expensive looking strap. Certainly not super high quality. As you can see, it's very shiny and it's a little bit hard to. You do have some stitching with some lighter brown leather stitching on the edges, and points out an arrow. Same over here. Yeah, you can always change the strap out for something else if you want to. It's really the watch and dial that matters, but I have to review the watch as is. So the strap is not the best quality. I would have liked it to be a little bit less shiny, maybe a little bit lighter in dimensions, but it does go well. I'm not going to complain. It's not the worst strap that's out there. There's much worse straps that are in circulation on some very high-end watches too. Okay, let's look at over here. So we have some plastic. Let's get rid of that. A lot of plastic on this watch. This was the only part that had it, actually. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we have the Orient logo on the tang buckle closure over here, or you can call it a pin buckle as well. Mirrored finish with the Orient font, no emblem. On the converse side, we have same mirrored finish. You get the tags with the Orient logo in silver on a plastic background. So yeah, that's how this watch is. And if you really look at it from the sides, you can appreciate the beauty of the domed mineral crystal. It just looks so dynamic and fantastic. I can't explain. You actually have to hold the watch and feel it to understand. Now this watch comes in a lot of different finishes. You can get it in a white dial with gold tone hands. There's a bunch of other finishes. Not very familiar with. This was really the one that really stood out for me, and that's why I decided to purchase it. I got this from Amazon for $125. The retail is $300, and on Orient's website you can get it for around $150 minus 10% or 15%, whatever promotion is going on at the time. But I got it for much less. It's $125. This watch is a steal deal considering what you are getting for the price you are paying. There is no lume on this, just so you know. So you're not gonna have a luminescent display. Also, for the date window, forgot to mention. Let's check it out, see if it's quick set. You have to actually move it anti-clockwise. Yeah, it is quick set date. So guys, what else do you want? It's a quick set date, hacking, hand winding, in-house movement with 42-hour power reserve, 30-meter water resistance. It's your go-to dress watch. There is no other dress watch that beats this for the price and value it's delivering. So the crown itself is very smooth in operation for winding. Let's see if it's as smooth for moving it around. Yeah, very smooth and easy to use. And you can easily set the time, no worries. Let's talk about dimensions. 40.5 millimeters in diameter. Lug to lug is approximately 46.5. Case thickness is 11.8 millimeters. Let's double check that with our caliper. Here we have the calipers that I've newly purchased. I've already started using them on some of my watch reviews. Let's see. Let's first check the case diameter. There we go. We have it here. .72, exactly what they mentioned. It was 40.5 on their website, so they're only like 0.2 millimeters off. Let's do one more measurement. Actually, they are on point, 40.54, and it's actually me moving the calipers around that's messing it up. So 40.5 millimeters. So 40.5 millimeters on point. Let's check the case thickness. 11.65 millimeters. They've mentioned 11.8, so very close on that too. Let's see lug width. They've mentioned 21 millimeters, and there you go, 20.77 millimeters, almost 21. Very correct on that too. Let's check the lug width. Very important for our guys who have smaller or larger wrists. Let's see. They have mentioned 46.5. What we get. We're getting close to it. 46.66, guys. Their measurements are on point. Absolutely correct. So I guess this is actually hitting the sweet spot for most of us and it can fit a variety of wrist sizes. Let's do a quick wrist check and see how it looks. Right, so here it is on the wrist. There you go. And you can see that this watch looks absolutely fantastic on my 6.5-inch wrist. I think that it can fit a variety of wrist sizes, and this one goes on point. You can see from different angles, does not look out of place or out of proportion. Looks very nice, very solid, very elegant, very stylish, and even luxurious, I may add, and almost looks like a very, very sophisticated watch, I must say. So guys, now it's time to give this watch an opulence score. So for the style and design category, it is beautifully designed, elegantly styled, and very classic looking, and that is in line with its antique watch theme, and it is so uniquely designed. It looks absolutely stunning from all angles. Even non-vintage watch lovers can appreciate the beauty of this watch, and that too along with watch collectors and enthusiasts. So that being a very universally liked style, for the style and design category, I'll give this watch a 9 out of 10. In the finishing category, the finishing is absolutely brilliant and stunning for the price that you're getting it for, and for the materials, they're not the most premium materials, but they're certainly very well made. The only point it loses is on the strap being not so good quality. So for that reason, it gets a 7 out of 10. For the versatility category, the watch is classically styled and really very, very formal, but it can be used in some semi-formal occasions and not so casual. So it's not your weekend watch, definitely a watch you can wear to the boardroom, to the office, to meetings, even some semi-formal parties, but definitely not a hangout or casual watch. So for that reason, it gets a 7 out of 10. Value for money is amazing, considering that this watch only cost me $125, and the amount of watch you're getting for that money is absolutely tremendous. So for that reason, it gets a 10 out of 10. For this watch is not super high from a distance. A casual observer might just think of it as an ordinary watch, but certainly enthusiasts, collectors, and people who are into watches will recognize the beauty and brilliance and the nicely vintage themed watch look of this timepiece. And for that reason, because it's not in line with everybody's tastes who are not watch aficionados, it gets a 6 out of 10. For the performance category, being that this is a dress watch, it performs really well, slides underneath the cuff easily, is very well proportioned, and goes with a vintage watch look, so it can match a lot of your formal attire and clothing. The movement itself is powered by an in-house movement that has a 40-yard power reserve, so it's the industry standard, nothing too amazing, but nothing too bad either. The watch has a 21,600 VPH movement. It's not the best, it's not the smoothest. The date is quick set, however, and that is a very good achievement. So for all those reasons, it gets a 7 out of 10. So the total opulence score for this watch is 46 out of 60, which places it in category B of all the watches reviewed. Alright guys, that's it for the review of the Orient Bambino dress watch. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any more upcoming content. And keep viewing, keep commenting, let me know what you think and what watches you want me to review, and I'll do my best to try to get them for you to review. And see you guys in the next one. Take care.